got a couple of Elements wood panels here. So the first one is a large one, which is 12 by 9, and the smaller one is 8 by 8. That's it. And I'm going to add some paint and resin and a little bit of sand and some shells onto it, and just show the process as I go along. So first of all, I've got some acrylic paints in white and blue and a tealy colour and a little bit of darker blue, and sometimes whenever I add the resin and the paint together on the board, first of all, a little bit of the board shows through eventually with a lot of the passing of the resin over the top. So I'm actually just going to paint a little bit of the background first of all before we go, so I'll start that first. So the little panels have dried, the paint has dried in them, and I have taped the edges off. I actually should have done that in the first place, but I left it a little bit late. But I don't want to get any more paint or any resin onto it, so I put masking tape on all the edges, the top edges of the frame, on both of them. And now I've got a little container of nice fine sand, and I have got some Pebeo Glazing Resin. So I'm going to mix up some of that and add a little sand and then put that into the corners of the frames where I haven't painted yet, that bottom stretch. So what I've got here is the resin and the hardener. So it's 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. So I'm going to mix up 20 mils of the resin and 10 of the hardener. And I'll mix that up first of all to see if that's enough, and if not, then I could make some more. So there's 20 and 10 mils of hardener. And I'm going to put that into this container to mix up. That container, because I'm going to add some sand into it, so that would be perfect. Now this has got to be stirred for 3 minutes minimum, so you want to make sure that you get all the resin and all the hardener really well mixed. I'll speed it up through this process, but make sure that you scrape along the bottom and the sides and mix it really, really well. This is the part you just can't skimp on, so just make sure you do that properly and be very thorough with it. So that's it all really well mixed up, and the recommended ratio is for adding anything to the resin is 10%, but a bit of a disclaimer here, because when I'm adding the sand I always add more than that, so it's really just that I do want a very thick consistency of sand to put along the bottom, and it seems to work well, especially if I'm going to put a little drop of resin on the top of it anyhow. So let's just add some more. There's really no ratio, I just mix it until until it feels right. I'll show you what that's going to look like in a moment. I want it quite thick but still a little bit runny, so just keep adding. It's lovely fine sand, really well mixed up there. It drops off the stick and it's nice and thick. That's basically the way I want it, so I'm going to put that in the bottom here, this part. That would be my beach. Well, that's the idea. I don't want that too thick because I want waves coming along the bottom of that in a little bit, so I'm just going to spread it in with this little stick, and I can add more to that when I get this in first of all. But now it's quite sticky, so obviously because the resin will stick to the frame, so you just want to spread it along there. Just move it around so you can actually get at it better. I don't like to put too much in at one time. I like to work with a little bit and spread it, and then I can add some more. Goodness me, it's absolutely pouring outside. It's really dark, and here I am at the beach. There we are. A little bit more. Push that in the corners. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. Now, on my other frame, I'm actually going to add some extra sand to this and make it quite thick. I've done this before and it has worked nicely, so I'll just try it again with this one. I just want to do them a wee bit differently. Yeah. So that's quite firm this time. I'm just going to mix all that sand in really well. I will add some shells to that at the end, but I want to dip the shells in resin first of all, and usually wait until this is done. Now see the way that's not spreading across the canvas this time? That's got to be dropped on. That will actually be really nice as well. It's nice. I might actually put some of this in at the bottom end of the frame and the other one, but that's... got a few very tiny shells in here. They're just mixed in, and I'm just going to drop those into the resin, and I'll attach the bigger ones later. So just while the resin's still quite tacky, it's just been newly made up, I just randomly drop some of these in. These panels have been left to dry overnight and they've turned out really well, so I'll go ahead now and add some more resin and paint to the top. This is the part with the sand, and you can see it shining there, and I've done it in both. So I have made up a batch of the glazing resin again in here. I used 90 mils of the resin and 45 of the hardener. I mixed that together for 3 minutes, and then I separated it out, added it into little containers and added some paint to it. So this is 20 mils of resin with just a little drop of white on the end of the stick put in there, and then I have 30 mils of this lovely, what's this one called? I don't see the name on it, but it's this lovely teal colour, and then another 30 with the blue, another 30 with the navy, and then I have taken just a little bit of, it's actually 20 mils of paler blue, which I just mixed up with some white and the same blue that I used earlier there. So now for the fun part, I'm going to turn these around. I'll do the little one first and just set that over, and I'm going to just pour some of this dark resin up in at the top. If you can hear any noises outside, there's a lot of birds about it there, seagulls I think it is. It's just I've got the window open so that we're well ventilated, and I just want to pour that, there we are, across the top, spread it out. Now I'm just sort of roughly following the lines that I followed, that I painted last night, but it doesn't actually matter if we're not exactly on them. It's just a rough guide. It's just so that if this resin moved about a bit, that there wouldn't be a bare board showing in underneath. So as you can see, those colours are, well, I always say this in every video, but those are my favourite colours. So just to get using, whoops, the daisy, just as well I had the masking tape on there. There we are, a little bit more turquoise, and spread it across, and I'm going to mix these together in a moment or two. Just use the sticks, possibly even my finger, just to get them all in. Just get that up into the edge there and across. That's worth your while just taking a moment or two and making sure you don't rush this, because just for the sake of an extra moment or two, it's nicer just to get it right. Some blue. There we are. It's lovely and sticky, you can feel that's really nice. The colours are beautiful. Well, to me they are. I love beach themed colours. Let's turn it around a little and just clean that bit off. A little bit. Push it up into the corner there. Now I'm going to use a heat gun, so that's why I'm not too worried about where this goes at the moment. I just want it sort of going over the area roughly. I shall do the light blue in there, Yeah, see, it doesn't matter if it mixes because I'm going to mix the colours in a moment. Down a little, and then I should put just a tiny drop of white along that edge. I'm going to use some of this white for waves in a moment or two, so just at the minute that's where that's going. And now I'll just get another little stick and we'll swoosh this about a little. Very nice. So I definitely don't want those colours looking too defined. You see the way they are at the edges there? Yeah, we want to just bring those together a bit more. Definitely don't want any big blocks of solid colour in it, because that's not the way the waves in the ocean look, so I don't want this to... Ah, that's better. Coming together nicely now. Lovely. Now I shall use my heat gun and put it together a little more. Turned out really lovely, so I hope I don't spoil it with the next bit. But what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of clear resin just to let the white move across it. So I'm just going to put some clear across the edge here where the wave line would be. There we are, not too much. Another little bit across there, and a little bit there. There we are, and then I'll put my white just on top of that, and that should help it move across. Now, let's see how this goes. Now, that's the white through it there, but I think I'm going to add some more white just to get a little bit more defined wave edging on it, so let's put some more on. And there we are. And now I'm going to do it on the bigger panel, and I'll just speed the video up while I pour the paint on. I'm going to do it the same way as I've done that one. So now I'm just going to add a couple more bigger shells at the bottom, and I just want to, just one or two, I think I'll put that just about there on the beach line, yeah. Put a little bit of resin over the top. Actually just move it back a little there. Now, and I'll set those aside to dry. That's just one bigger one on the small frame. Leave that over there, and that'll go with this one. See how we go. Oh, I see a couple of areas there where I need to just add some more, actually just heat the resin up a little bit, so I'll do that off camera in a moment or two when I just add this. And a little bit of resin over the top. So there we are so far. And I shall just move this into the corner. I'll probably just blow that with the heat gun in a moment or two just to mix that in again.